St. Collectors to west of Mavis. On the southbound 404, may have a pair of issues now. South of Elgin Mills could have a problem the shoulder. There's a minor delay through this area. And then we have a problem right at the 401. So the express ramp that leads continuing on to the DP, piece of the right lane there is blocked with a stone vehicle on the bullnose. It's also affecting that collector ramp to the DVP, which is partially blocked with this same issue. All in all, delays from south of Finch down towards the 401. Tuesday on Breakfast Television, join the gang for BT Christmas Kitchen Party. Plus, it's the final days of 12 days of giveaways. Breakfast Television, weekdays at 5:30, only on City TV. Your next report at 6:11, and with the forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
That cold is going to swing through the GTA, dropping us down to -3, wind chill -8, with a partly cloudy sky. And we do have a cooler Christmas Eve on tap, a mix of sun and cloud, and just a high of 0. We'll see some more clouds by the afternoon. Tonight's overnight low, -3.
Right now in downtown Toronto, few clouds, 7 degrees at the Pearson Airport, cloudy, and 5. 680 News Time, 6:03.
Breaking news from the Toronto courts, where a 40-year-old Michael Johnson from Pickering has been identified as the man responsible for allegedly hitting and killing 2 college students last night.
He was denied bail by the judge this evening, the judge saying it, quote, wouldn't be fair to the public to release him. Stay with 680 News for the latest on this developing story.
Well, police are urging drivers to be cautious on the roads as they continue to roll out their annual ride program. 680's Momin Qureshi with more.
A long line of cars goes up the street in Scarborough as Toronto police are holding a holiday ride check program, trying to make sure people are driving responsibly.
Question is, any alcohol today? No? Okay. Working hard? All right, that's it. Thank you.
Hardly working,
2
officer.
teenage boys who were Centennial College students were struck and killed by an alleged impaired driver last night. Sergeant Jason Kraft with Traffic Services says there's been about the same number of impaired driving charges this year that there were last year, and that's a problem.
So we're about the same, just slightly higher.
Is that disappointing to you that the numbers are almost exactly the same?
Absolutely. The number one is just disappointing to me. The fact that impaired driving related collisions and deaths are 100% preventable.
In Scarborough, I'm Momin Qureshi.
Meantime, a Good Samaritan called 911 after noticing a drunk driver on the road.
Okay, one, he was in a gas station. He's trying to ask me for directions. He was just slurring. Oh, now he's trying to make a U-turn. Oh, my God. You guys got to get here.
That call led to the arrest of a 37-year-old man, and you can watch the full video on the YRP
Not
YouTube
snitching.
channel.
Fuck them. Call one time on these motherfuckers. Fuck them.
Have been steadily rising this year. More than 1,600 people have been charged. More than 3,000 people have called to report dangerous driving this year alone. If you suspect dangerous driving, you're being asked to contact police.
680 News Time, 6:05. Update now from this stabbing that happened earlier in the afternoon. The man has now died from his injuries after being stabbed near Jameson and King. Police got the call just before 2 o'clock. There's no word on any suspect information at this time, but police are asking anyone who knows anything about this incident to give them a call.
I know what happened to Jameson and King. That's all I know,
A 70-year-old man is in
officer.
hospital with serious injuries after being hit by a car in Mississauga. Peel police say it happened shortly after 2 this afternoon in the Kennedy and Indian Trail area. The driver involved remained on scene, and there's no word yet on any charges being laid. Kennedy was closed for a little while and is now reopened.
680 News Time, 6:06. 23-year-old Samuel Opoku was back in court today.
The shit flinger!
Human waste on several people in Toronto last month. Opoku's lawyer, Jordan Wise, says his client appeared in a mental health court at Old City Hall.
Hopefully, everyone will be able to move on to the extent that that's possible. Difficult, obviously, for the alleged victims, but this hopefully will just be a terrible chapter, and the entire city hopefully can move on.
Opoku arrested by Toronto police.
We're not done with you yet, you
around the
motherfucker.
University of Toronto and York University areas. He's charged with 5 counts each of assault with a weapon and mischief. He was released on bail last week.
You're listening to
How you let him out on bail?
680 News.
You kept the drunk driver. You could have released the drunk driver and fucking held that guy. It would have made more sense. Motherfucker.
Of each other. As 680's Phil Martino tells us, investigators say they're treating each case they are dealing with as arson. So a series of the fires happened near Finch and Bathurst around 3:30 a.m., according to Stephen Powell, District Chief with Toronto Fire.
And we found a tow truck that was on fire in very close proximity to a house.
A second tow truck fire was reported in the same area a few minutes later, and then a third near Yonge and Finch just before 4 a.m. Toronto police say they have been classified as arsons and are believed to be connected. In York Region, police are investigating two early morning tow truck fires in Richmond Hill. Both happened around 3:30 a.m. Constable Lorna Cole says police believe they were intentionally set on fire. As for the possibility of this being a tow truck war,
this has certainly come up for us too. I've been asked this, and I know it's something our investigators are going to look at.
I'm Phil Martino.
Here with All News Radio 680 News at 6:07. It's been 10 years since 4 workers died doing balcony repairs on a high-rise near Kipling and Steeles. The platform that 6 people were working on that day was meant for just 2. One of the survivors told a court in 2015 he had never worked at such heights before and that they only received about 30 minutes of training. Training and maintenance rules have been overhauled in the years since that horrible day, but experts say a total shift in work culture needs to take place to ensure it never happens again. A coroner's inquest into the case was called last year, but there's no word yet on when it will actually begin.
Oh, shit.
680 News Time, 6:08. The head of the UN is criticizing a court in Saudi Arabia that sentenced 5 people to death for the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The grisly slaying in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul drew international condemnation and raised questions about how it could have been carried out without the knowledge of Saudi leaders. UN spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric says questions linger about the true culprit in the slaying.
The Secretary General continues to stress the need for an independent and impartial investigation into the murder to ensure full examination of and accountability for human rights violations committed in the case.
United Nations investigator tweeted that the verdicts are a mockery, while Amnesty International called the outcome a whitewash.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check on the city streets and the price at the pumps.
680 News Time, 6:09.
Local news, weather, and traffic as it happens.
680 News.
680 News, Toronto.
Treat yourself this holiday
You got a
season.
drunk driver
at
killing
Time
people
Run,
on a
a
Sunday
brand
night
new
and
Buick.
stabbing
The Winter
on
Pre-Owned
Monday.
event is on now at your Buick
Interesting
dealer.
times.
Until January 2nd, get 15% of MSRP cash purchase credit. Or great lease offers on all
I'm gonna take my
2019
fucking
Encore
medication,
SUVs.
man.
It's the small luxury
I'm
SUV
fucking
sized to fit the
paying.
way your life moves and turn heads wherever you go. Visit your GTA dealer today or BuickOffers.ca for details.
And checking on city streets right now, Jameson still closed in both directions between King and Queen for a police investigation. Now the 680 News gas price update. Edinburgh saying the price of gas will not change at midnight, holding at $1.18.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 610.
The Best Buy Boxing Day sale starts online December 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern. What's hot? There are deals in every department. Save $300 on an Asus 15-inch laptop. Only $699.99. Limits and effects details at bestbuy.ca.
Is it through Windows? Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha.
That means one of our greatest offers of the year. But buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines for the Samsung Galaxy S10 and the Galaxy S10e. Infinite data you can share when you get them both on select 2-year Rogers Infinite plans. And more wireless listening with premium sound when you get a pair of Samsung Galaxy Buds free. Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO and free Galaxy Buds while quantities last during the Rapid Red event on now at Rogers.
The Best Buy Boxing Day sale starts online December 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern. What's hot? Door Crasher deals in every department. Save $800 on an LG 75-inch 4K TV. Only $999.99. Limits and effects details at bestbuy.ca.
680 News Time, 611.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by UNICEF Canada. We've got problems on the eastbound 401 causing a major jam up south of Pearson Airport in the Express. 3 out of the 4 lanes here are blocked. 3 left lanes closed, so you have to use the right lane to get past this crash. And it's very heavy from east to the 410 and the Collectors. to the transfer that leads into the Express. Express lanes are jammed from east of Dixie to south of Pearson Airport, so very slow through this stretch. Then across Toronto, it gets busy again approaching Keele, alternately Express and Collectors to Kennedy. Beyond that, it's not bad. Westbound 401 may have a new problem on this side as well. At Mavis, could have a lane blocked with a collision. First of all, you've got delays approaching Yonge, alternately Express and Collectors to Dixon. Bit of a delay south of the airport in the Express as well, with traffic looking at the eastbound crash. And then it gets really jammed west to the 410, Express and Collectors over to Mavis. If you're in that area, star 680 on your cell phone. Let us know what's going on. West 401 at Mavis. 3 problems, though, on the South 404 have cleared. South of Elgin Mills, gone. On the Express ramp to the DVP, and in fact on the Collector ramp to the DVP, problem that was affecting both ramps, now gone. So if you're traveling south on the 404, it's actually not bad. Just delays approaching Shepherd to the 401 ramps. DVP itself is fine. Westbound Gardner is not fine. We have a problem approaching Kipling in the Express. Another collision in this area. The right lane is blocked, so crews are on scene. And volumes filled in all the way out of downtown from approaching Jarvis now to approaching Kipling. If you're traveling onto the West QEW, it's busy Dixie to west of Cawthra by the Ford plant, and then from Walkers to the 403 ramp. We've got volume on the eastbound QE Gardner, Cawthra to Dixie, and approaching Spadina to Cherry, and North DVP delays Bayview Bloor up to the 401. Give a real gift with real impact this holiday. Shop UNICEF Survival Gifts at unicef.ca, because every kid everywhere deserves a healthy and happy childhood. Your next report at 6:21, and with the forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
After a warm day, bundle up if you're headed out this evening. We have temperatures falling tonight, and that cold front moves through. We will have an overnight low of -3 and that wind chill of -8 for tomorrow. Christmas Eve, a high of 0 with a mix of sun and cloud, and it will be on the cooler side, but not as windy. And then for Christmas Day, mostly cloudy and a high of +4. Tonight's overnight low, -3.
Right now in downtown Toronto, a few clouds, 7 degrees, and at Pearson Airport, cloudy and 5. 680 News Time, 6:13.
Now the Scotia iTrade Market Minute live at the Business Center. Richard Southern.
Performance here today, Scott, for the Bay Wall Street stock market's a record-breaking close. TSX was up 10 points, 17,128. Again, best close ever for the Bay Street benchmark. Dow up 96 at 28,551. Boeing stock a big winner amid the ouster of its CEO. S&P up 2 points. Nasdaq gains 20. Price for gold shining brighter, up to $1,489. And the Canadian dollar's up now at 76.06 cents U.S. That's your market minute. This is 680 News.
Direct invest with Scotia iTrade. Get up to $1,500 cash and $6.99 price, or up to 500 free equity trades. Details at scotiaitrade.com/winter20.
This holiday, what if giving also felt like getting? At Indigo Chapter Soul, we have incredible gifts that inspire moments. Fabulous books, toys, home decor, and everything else you need to give more magic. Visit us in store or at indigo.ca.
Happy holidays from the Monitoring Center. Let the Monitoring Center provide you peace of mind over the holiday season. Switch your current alarm system to TMC or pick from one of our customizable installation packages and let us protect what matters most. Think the Monitoring Center for your home security needs. Think security? Think the Monitoring Center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7 or $9.99. 1-866-24-7 or $9.99.
This holiday, make shopping for the perfect gifts easy at indigo.ca. Simply shop online, then pick up in store at any of our locations across the country. For stress-free shopping and sure to please presents, go to indigo.ca.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. Right now we've got a partly cloudy sky, 7 degrees, feeling 5. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Eden DeBella. Here are the top stories this hour.
A man who was stabbed earlier this afternoon has now died of his injuries. His identity has yet to be released. It happened near Jameson and King West around 2 o'clock. Still no word on suspects. A 40-year-old man from Pickering has been identified as the man responsible for allegedly hitting and killing 2 college students last night. He has been denied bail by a judge earlier this evening. Coming up after sports, things getting shaky on the West Coast after earthquakes hit up the coast of Vancouver.
Really?
Now 680 Sports. For that, we go to Sportsnet 5/9. This fan and say good evening, Rob Long.
Good evening, Scott. And the Maple Leafs winning their 5th in a row in an 8-6 barn burner against Carolina. Toronto began the third period down 5-3. Mitch Marner with the 5-point game. He also scored the go-ahead goal and says the Maple Leafs had a Raptors-esque comeback.
That comeback from them was amazing yesterday. same kind of afternoon game. So I think both teams have confidence in their players and the ability to do what they can. I think both teams stick to the system, knew they could get it done, and both did.
Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Jason Spezza, William Nylander, Tyson Barrie, and Pierre Engvall also scored as Frederick Anderson made 35 saves. The Raptors look to keep the good times rolling tonight as they head out on the road to face the Pacers in Indiana. Tip-off on Sportsnet 1 at 7 o'clock. Meantime, Kyle Lowry, your Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And the Week 16 capper goes tonight in Minnesota as the Vikings are home to the Green Bay Packers. Kickoff set for 8:15. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 6:17.
At Mazda, we believe when something ends, it's really the beginning of something new. So as this year ends, begin a new journey in a new Mazda with available iActive all-wheel drive at the Mazda year-end event. Right now, you can receive 0% purchase financing on select models, or up to a $1,500 year-end event bonus on other select Mazdas. Plus, Mazda's unlimited mileage warranty. Hurry in. The Mazda year-end event is over January 2nd. Visit your Mazda dealer or Mazda.ca today.
Left your holiday shopping to the last minute? Staples has a curated selection of gifts that get them at prices that get you. Save $120 on the HP 14-inch notebook, now just $379.99. $50 on the Ultimate Ears Wonder Boom 2 Bluetooth speaker, now just $79.99. And 47% on Google Home, now just $69. Spend your last minute shopping wisely. Staples, gifts that get them.
680 News Time, 6:18.
A confirmed case of the measles in a traveler coming into Chicago's O'Hare Airport, one of the world's busiest. The case has health officials and airport authorities on high alert. Here's ABC's Alex Perez.
Now, authorities at the big airports in Austin and Richmond, Virginia, are also alerting passengers. The risk of transmission is high, and officials are not only worried because of the many outbreaks around the world, but also because it's such a busy travel period right now.
Unvaccinated children, pregnant women, and those with weakened immune systems are at most risk of infection. A close call for Canada's west coast as series of earthquakes shaking the Pacific Ocean more than 100 kilometers northwest of northern Vancouver Island. 3 large quakes recorded by Earthquakes Canada, measuring 5.1 and 5.6 and 5.8. Andrew Schaefer of Earthquakes Canada saying it's very unlikely anyone felt the quakes.
Not Environment Canada?
To distinguish it from a big truck driving by 200 meters away, sort of. It's far enough away.
Shit.
Very strongly felt.
Schaefer says the area where today's quakes occurred is well known for generating quakes above magnitude 5. Well, the director of the latest Star Wars movie is responding to critics.
No one's ever really gone.
There's a lot of love for Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, but if you've been on Twitter the past couple of days, there are also a lot of unhappy fans. The film earned a B+ cinema score from moviegoers opening weekend, the lowest score of any Star Wars movie to date. So for those that don't like it,
I'd say that they're right.
Director J.J. Abrams was asked about the criticism after a screening over the weekend.
We knew starting this, any decision we made, a design decision, a musical decision, a narrative decision, would please someone and infuriate someone else.
Doing?
And they're all right.
Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and your extended forecast.
680 News Time, 6:20.
Need a last-minute gift for the guy that has everything? Huh, look at that. A heavy-duty nose hair trimmer. Well, that's not insulting at all.
That's because I got some heavy-duty nose hair, motherfucker.
Get the gift of better sleep instead. Plus, get amazing prices on bedding essentials and mattresses. And get a Hot Buy Sealy Optimum Eurotop Queen mattress with cooling technology, just $449. Hurry in store or online because this price ends Sunday. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
I'm off the medications and I feel great because I lost the weight that was making me sick. And you can too. I'm Pat Carano, a 51-year-old accounting professional from Woodbridge. Sleep apnea, sciatica, I had it all until I lost the weight and kept it off with the team at Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men.
Don't miss 20% off 2020 memberships. New members only. Call now, 416-222-9887. HarveyBrooker.com.
If you could do it alone, you would have done it already.
680 News Time, Time, 6:21.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center. Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by Viva Next. If you're on the eastbound 401, you're into a heavy jam up near Pearson Airport. South of Pearson in the Express, 3 left lanes are still blocked with collision cleanup. Crews on scene here, and it is just jammed on the East 401 from the 410 in the Collectors and east of Dixie in the Express to south of Pearson Airport, where this problem is. Further along, we've got delays through Kiel in the Express, and then it's busy again from the Allen to Victoria Park Express and the Kennedy Collectors. A new problem on the westbound 401 approaching McCowan in the Collectors. Traffic spotter called to say there was a tire rolling around here, and in the process of investigating that with the MTO, we found this vehicle stalled on the shoulder, so not sure if they're related, but West 401 approaching McCowan in the Collectors. The MTO is now blocking the right lane because of the stalled vehicle on the shoulder.
They don't want to tell us what's going on with the tow truck drivers. They want to keep it hush, hush, hush.
Not much of a delay through there, just a minor one. Gets busier as you travel west of that point.
You got yourself a flat tire, run out of some gas. You got these guys shooting at each other at the side of the road over who's going to get the money off.
It's actually filling in from about Dixon to south of the airport in the Express. Slow all the way along there with that visual distraction of the eastbound problems causing the delay. Looks like the westbound 401 through Mavis collision there may have cleared. It's still jammed up from west to the 410 Express and Collectors to west of Mavis. If you're traveling the westbound Gardner, problems approaching Kipling Express have also cleared. Heavy jam up, though, from York out of downtown all the way to Kipling. It's a long, slow slog right now. If you want to try the Lakeshore, that's in better shape. North DVP, just volume, north of AP Bloor to the 401. And if you're traveling into the city, the eastbound QA and Gardner, not bad now. Same with the south 404 down Valley. It's the season of giving in Vaughan. Your local shops and businesses can help you find what you're looking for. Stop, shop, and dine on Highway 7 West and Bathurst and Center Streets. Visit vivanext.com. Your next report at 6:31, and with the extended forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
Partly cloudy tonight, and that cold front moves through, which will drop temperatures as well. Those winds do lighten up as we head toward midnight. Low of -3 will feel like -8. For tomorrow, a high of 0, a mix of sun and cloud, and then we'll see some more clouds as we head toward the afternoon and evening. By Wednesday, it's a mostly cloudy day, a high of 4 degrees. And then by Thursday, that's when we could see our next chance of some rain and also the potential for some ice pellets further east, a high of 3 degrees on Boxing Day. Tonight's overnight low, -3.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy, 7 degrees, and at Pearson Airport, a few clouds and 5.
Coming up at 6:30, a man who was stabbed earlier this afternoon succumbing to his injuries in hospital. It happened near Jameson and King Street. We're also learning that a 40-year-old man from Pickering has been identified as the man responsible for allegedly hitting and killing 2 college students last night. We'll have the details for you straight ahead.
680 News Time, 6:24.
How does Sugar Plum Fairy
I keep saying it's in Toronto, the violence, it's this randomness, this fucking randomness. There is no good advice to stay safe. Oh, don't do this or stay away from here. You could happen fucking anywhere.
For magic only lasts on the World of Canada's Wonderland's Winterfest. Select dates through December 31st. Don't miss the final days of Winterfest. Open daily Thursday through December 31st. Save on tickets at CanadasWonderland.com.
Making your smart speaker even smarter.
Alexa, play 680 News.
Playing 680 News.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have all Christmas news on the 25s. This news segment brought to you by the Illusionist Magic of the Holidays.
Need window inspiration? Then you need to speak to the experts. Hi, I'm Tom Rokicki of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Our window experts are experienced in working with architects, builders, and homeowners to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So whether you're replacing your old windows or building your dream home, dream the dream with Inline Fiberglass. If you can dream it, we can build it. Visit our Factory Direct showroom, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or inlinefiberglass.com.
Aaron Park. Why buy an Aaron Park Toyota? Well, when you see that every single individual.
The nice thing about the fact that I don't abuse painkillers is when it does kick in, the pain will stop, and then I'll feel better. And there is no high or buzz to catch, and none of that shit. I just feel normal again.
That's nice to hear.
Aaron Park. It's time to Toyota. Time to get 0.49% finance rates.
Why would you abuse painkillers? If you take them when you don't need them, the one time you're going to need them to work, you're going to take them, and ain't nothing going to happen. Fuck, I took 2 or 3 of them and nothing happened. Yeah, because you've been fucking with them.
Christmas magic of the holidays. Hundreds of volunteers of all ages helping the Daily Bread Food Bank with its final holiday public sort of the year today. Daily Bread saying over 100,000 pounds of food donations will be sorted and packed, all of which will go to meet the needs of Torontonians experiencing hunger and food insecurity this season. The agency helping feed about 100,000 people each year.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
680 News Time, 626.
Now the business report at the Business Center. Richard Southern.
Record-breaking close for the Toronto and New York stock markets. TSX up 10 points today, 17,128. The Dow up 96 at 28,251. S&P 500 gains 2 points. The Nasdaq gains 20. Investors taking some solace in the fact that there were reports that China would cut some tariffs on U.S. imports as well. Boeing showing its CEO the door, Dennis Muhlenberg, over the 737 MAX scandal, and that lifted Boeing's
What about all the engineers that approved that shit and said, yeah, it'll be okay?
A bit of disappointing economic
That
news,
motherfucker should have said so.
Canada's economy shrinking in October, down 0.1%. First monthly decline since February. Avery Shenfeld is a senior economist at CIBC.
We had already seen reports that volumes of sales for manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers were all down in the same month of October. So it wasn't really a big surprise that overall economic activity also declined that month. But more worrisomely, it does extend a trend. It's really been back to June before you find a month that was solid for the Canadian economy.
You know, some say we're headed towards a possible recession in the new year. What's your take on that, Avery?
It's certainly still true that some of the things we've been worried about over the past year, particularly the sluggishness in manufacturing, not just in Canada but globally, that's still very much there. So I think sluggish growth is the order of the day, but not necessarily an outright recession.
All eyes on the Bank of Canada now. Pressure certainly on, perhaps, for the bank to cut rates when it meets again on the 22nd of January. Gold up more than $8, $1,489. Oil to $60.70. Canadian dollar 76.06 cents US. And at the Business Center, I'm Richard Southern.
You have more important things to do than be stuck in traffic.
Listen for up-to-date traffic reports only on 680 News.
Hi, it's Fido. Holiday deals are in full swing and the fun continues with Boxing Week. Treat yourself, you've earned it. The Samsung Galaxy S10 or A70 is at $0 on select 2-year plans. $0, never-ending fun. And go all out without going over with data overage protection included on all new plans. Hurry up in store or at Fido.ca to discover more holiday deals. Conditions apply. Fido, go get it.
Missed out on Black Friday bargains? Don't worry. Hi, I'm Sean from New Balance, and we're gearing up for our blowout. From December 26th to January 12th, we're giving you the best prices of the year. Save up to 50% off footwear, apparel, and accessories. With deals like these, it's the perfect time to try something new or just stock up on the styles you love. New Balance Toronto, your fit specialist for 19 years. Some conditions apply. See store for details.
Checking the Business Travelers forecast. Vancouver, possible drizzle, 4 degrees. Edmonton, foggy and -5. Tomorrow, Montreal, mostly cloudy and -5. This is CFTR 680 News. Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day and always be in the know. It's 6:30.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good evening. This is Monday, December the 23rd. I'm Eden Dada.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here's what's making news right now.
A man has died in hospital and police are hunting for suspects after being stabbed in the city's West End.
A judge says it wouldn't be fair for the 40-year-old man involved in a fatal collision to be released on bail.
There has been a string of suspicious tow truck fires across the GTA. Police in Toronto are calling it arson.
A list of the most popular New Year's resolutions and how you can actually see them through.
Record-breaking close for the TSX.
Those are not cheap trucks either,
the
man.
decade wrapping up, we're looking at how the TSX has done over the past 10 years, including the top-performing stocks in business at 56.
Mitch Marner ties a career high with 5 points as the Maple Leafs win their 5th in a row as the Raptors look for a 6th consecutive victory on the road in Indiana. Sports at 45.
680 News Time, 6:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Good evening, Kyle Hawking.
Good evening. This report brought to you by Hakeem Optical. We've got 3 problems on the westbound 401. First of all, a minor one approaching McCowan in the collectors. The right lane blocked by the MTO. Stalled vehicle on the shoulder, so not much of a delay through there, but keep an eye out for the crews. Sometimes when there's no delay, that makes it even more dangerous. Keep an eye out for anybody walking around, approaching McCowan collectors. And then at the Allen in the Express, we now have a stalled box truck in the right lane. Just a minor delay building through this. It gets busy again through Keel, both Express and collectors. And then busy 427 to south of the airport in the Express. That because of an eastbound issue we'll get to in a moment. Remember, we had those westbound 401 problems at Mavis come and go. Now it looks like we have a new problem west of Mavis because it's jammed up once again from west of the 410 Express and collectors to west of Mavis, and then it's fine past that point. So volume was improving, but now getting heavy again. Again, if you're in the area, start 680 on your cell phone and let us know what's going on in this stretch. The problem we had on the eastbound 401 south of Pearson Airport in the Express has now cleared, but it's jammed 410 in the collectors and Dixie Express to south of the airport.
Another stabbing. Man arrested after 1.5 million worth of drugs.
And then if you're in the Express, busy Allen to Victoria Park. Nice. And in the collectors, it's slowed from about Yonge to Kennedy. On the westbound 403, heading into Hamilton, west of the QEW, may have a lane blocked with a collision here as it's heavy coming off the QEW from Walkers onto the 403 ramp just beyond the QEW where the problem is. And if you're on the westbound Gardner, again, those problems approaching Kipling Express have cleared, but busy York to west to Parklawn, Kipling Express and collectors to the 427. Receive 8% off designer frames and 30% off lenses during Hakeem Optical's Boxing Week sale. There's thousands of styles to choose from. End the decade in style with Hakeem Optical. Your next report at 6:41, and with the forecast, here's Carl Lamb.
It will be a cool night across the GTA. Those winds will eventually die down after about midnight, and we'll have a partly cloudy sky down to -3. And for tomorrow, it sets up for a colder day. We do have a mix of sun and cloud, a high of 0, and tomorrow's low -1. We'll see some more clouds by the afternoon as well. Tonight's overnight low -3.
Right now in downtown Toronto, we've got a clear sky, 7 degrees. At Pearson, a few clouds, and 4. 680 News Time, 6:33.
Detectives are investigating the city's 73rd homicide of the year after one man was fatally stabbed in the Parkdale area. Paramedics say the man succumbed to his injuries in hospital.
Officers were called to King Street West and Jameson around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Police telling 680 News they're searching for a black male suspect that was seen fleeing the area on foot. Homicide detectives have since taken over the case, and more details are expected within the hour. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police.
680 News Time, 6:34. Breaking news from a Toronto courthouse where the man alleged to have hit and killed 2 college students has been denied bail. 40-year-old Michael Johnson from Pickering has been identified as the man allegedly responsible for last night's fatal collision. The judge denied Johnson bail earlier this evening, saying, quote, "It wouldn't be fair to the public to release him." Safe driving is on the minds of many this holiday season, and as 680's Momin Qureshi reports, incidents like this are why the Arrive Alive, Drive Sober campaign are so important.
With Christmas Eve tomorrow, more and more people will be celebrating, so Toronto police are here in Scarborough doing a holiday ride check, trying to make sure you're getting to your destination safely. Hi, sir.
Thank you. We're trying to ride spot check. Any alcohol tonight?
No, fair enough. Thank you. Unfortunately, this ride check comes after 2 teenage Centennial College students were killed by an alleged drunk driver last night. Sergeant Jason Kraft says there is no excuse for driving impaired.
If you're a driver of a motor vehicle, have a plan. Choose an alternate ride. If you're setting up a Christmas party at the office or hosting a family and friends party, ensure that everybody gets home safely. If you're out on the road and you observe someone who you suspect is an impaired driver, consider that a crime in progress and call 911.
In Scarborough, I'm Momin Qureshi.
Here with All News Radio 680 News, York Regional Police had some help getting a suspected drunk driver off the road this weekend. A concerned citizen called 911 around 8:30 Friday night to report what appeared to be an impaired motorist in the Bathurst and Bloomington area.
The green Subaru Outback.
Green Subaru Outback? What's the license plate?
Hit a car. You almost hit a car.
Vehicle is on file as stolen. And vehicle on file as stolen.
That call leading to the arrest of a 37-year-old man and the recovery of a stolen vehicle. Mukhtar Abdullahi is facing numerous charges, including impaired operation and assault. So far this year, police say over 1,600 people have been charged with impaired driving in York Region.
A 70-year-old man was seriously hurt after being hit by a car in Mississauga. It happened in the Kennedy and Indian Trail area just after 2 this afternoon. Peel police say the driver involved remained on scene and all roads that were closed for the investigation have since reopened.
The man accused of throwing liquefied feces on 5 people around Toronto University campuses making another appearance in court today. This time to ensure he meets the conditions of his bail. 23-year-old Samuel Opoku is facing 5 charges of mischief and 5
You can keep the drunk driver in jail. You can keep this motherfucker in jail too.
It was a priority to bring his client back to court in a timely manner.
To follow up and to ensure that he's doing well now that he's out of custody, and I'm very happy and pleased to report that he is doing well and he is receiving the care and the attention that he requires.
Aboku was arrested by Toronto police last month and was released on bail last week.
680 News Time, 6:37. Toronto police are investigating 3 tow truck fires in North York within an hour that are believed to be connected. As 680's Phil Martino tells us, police in York are also looking into suspicious vehicle fires overnight.
Stephen Powell, district chief with Toronto Fire, says crews were called to a tow truck fire near Finch and Bathurst around 3:30 a.m. The flames spread to a nearby house and garage.
We also had 2 other incidences, one involving just a tow truck, and the other one, it was a tow truck, but the resident of the property came out and was able to put the fire out.
Toronto police say the incidents have been classified as arsons and they're believed to be linked. In York Region, police are investigating 2 tow truck fires in Richmond Hill around the same time, one near Bathurst and Major Mackenzie, the other near Bathurst and Gamble Road. Police say both vehicles are believed to have been intentionally set on fire. Police will not say if the fires are linked to a possible tow truck war. I'm Phil Martino.
680 News Time, 6:38. Well, quitting smoking or drinking are among the most common New Year's resolutions, according to one expert. But he says most of us need to make the same resolution multiple times before it finally sticks. Dr. Simon Sherry is a clinical psychologist and perfectionism expert with Crux Psychology and tells us more than half of North American adults will make some kind of resolution, with many making 3 or more resolutions.
How successful are we at our resolutions? And evidence would show that many of us have to make the same New Year's resolution as many as 5 to 10 times before we actually lock it down and succeed. And common New Year's resolutions might be something like stopping drinking, stopping smoking, losing weight, and these are small challenges.
Dr. Simon says about 25% of people who make resolutions abandon them in as little as a week. He says about 40% are able to